Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and we're back here with Bastide. Yes, it's been about a month, I think almost exactly a month, since I last looked at and recorded an episode of this game. And things have been improving. The developer has been bang on with their promises. They've been keeping updates coming very regularly indeed. I mean, it does seem like almost daily Steam tells me there's another update for Bastide, go download it. But there have been at least 4 or 5 of the weekly update lists that they put up on Steam, which is very nice. So what we're going to look at now is all the updates that we've had since the last episode. As I said, that was about a month ago, and there have been a lot. Now, one of the things that we're seeing here, which was kind of exemplified by that animal that wandered off out the chicken pasture a moment ago, that cow. The animals are now much more constrained. They will stay within their pasture much more than they did before. They shouldn't get stuck on fences and things like that. But to do with that, they will breed. I thought they were breeding in the last episode because there was always an extra one every now and then. They will still breed, but only if you have enough food to feed them. So yeah, so there's all sorts of tweaking and balancing going on here as well. So we've got pastures have been improved. The farms have been improved as well. So if we click here, we can now choose between not just wheat, which was the only one we had before. We can now plant cabbages and or pumpkins. You have a different field for each one, that is. Again, I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a seasonal difference between them. So again, there's all these sort of tweaks that the developer is making to the game, which are really encouraging on this. So yeah, you may want different fields of different produce to carry you through the different seasons of the year. And there's that cow trampling over my field. Actually, it's hopping. Very cute. Okay. Likewise with farms, the mines have been improved as well. We've always had stone, iron and bronze coming out of the mine. You can now actually select if you want just one or other, or a combination of all three coming out of the mine here, as you can see here. By default, I think it comes up as mixed, which is what it was when I played the game last. Another cute thing here, which I've just noticed, is you not only get your current production for this year, you can also see what you produced last year. So you've got an idea of how productive your teams are, I think. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that's going to feed into the challenge of the game, but I love data. If you've watched any of my other series, you'll know that I just love seeing numbers and information coming up. And on that matter, various tweaks have been made to the resources as well. So these are a lot more accurate. They're rechecked every time you load a save game, so any issues there were previously are resolved when you come back into the game. So that's always nice to hear. Food, we're talking about food a moment ago, and if we go into house, we can see here now not just who lives there, the occupants, but also storage. What should happen, I haven't seen it yet because I've only just sort of come into the game here, we've not hit night time yet, is that come the night time, the occupants of that housing unit will go and collect food in proportion to the amount that is actually stored for the whole population. They'll take a proportion of that into their own building and store it for their own use. Very nice indeed. I love that. That is so good. There have been various other changes as well to the buildings, just tidying up. We've added new buildings. We've got now a church, we have a brewery, and of course a tavern. And they feed into this thing at the top here, which I think we saw in the last episode, called happiness. And that impacts how quickly new villagers will arrive in your settlement. Various tweaks to the map as well. It's difficult to tell now because it's night time's encroaching, but the texturing has been improved. It's constantly working on that, so it looks a lot more natural. And it really, I mean, it always was a good looking game. But I mean, look at this. This is the snow falling, and as night falls, people should now more reliably return home, which I think was an issue we had at the end of the last episode, where the people just hanging around here at midnight, gone midnight, and you think, no, your work is finished for the day, go home, stay warm. But they didn't. It looks like the river is icing over as well. And talking of the river and food, we can now build Dun, dun, dun. Food. A fisherman's hut. Hey! I think it was on the schedule for the last episode, but it arrived a little while ago. They're very cheap to build. The animation for the fisher person, it doesn't matter what gender they are, isn't great at the moment. That, again, is something the developer is working on. But I always, as I said last time, I loved fisher huts because they're a great way to get food into your population. So there is that. We're not going to build that yet because I'm currently got all my houses occupied. I'm now 12 people here out of the 12 I can house. They've all got jobs. Now, the tailor is... I've only got one out of my 2 tailors. Still producing clothing, but I need a bit more just to be safe because we've only got 2 clothes in spare at the moment. And I could take one of the miners away. Because I think we're okay for stone and stuff. I want to build another house, and the best value house, I think, where's my cursor? There it is the thatched hut, which is 24 wood. Although actually the wood, this is adequate. That gives me 3 people, 25 wood, so it's just 1 more and 4 stone. Actually, that might be a better choice. Oh, hang on, hang on. I got the stone house here. Warm and comfortable. Do I want to have a segment of my population living in absolute luxury compared to everyone else? That will use up most of my stone, but a lot less of my wood, and I've got 14 wood at the moment. Various changes to the balance of the game. The animals here produce meat and, in the case of sheep, wool, or the case of cows, leather, at different rates now. I think some the leather and wool is produced slightly more quickly, but the meat is produced slightly less quickly, so more slowly in that sense. Again, a balance thing. And again, the forester, something I had an issue with last time, is they should be planting trees. Apparently they are doing that more efficiently now, so they are planting trees more quickly. Now, are there any other things I need to mention here? No, that's it. We'll actually keep this running a bit faster. I want to get to... Actually, can I build that stone house now? I could do, couldn't I? Where's I keep turning the map around and losing where the heck I am. Right, so that is the original wood hut, isn't it? The wood home. So I could start building that right now, actually, couldn't I? A manor house. I can't afford a manor house. Let's build a stone house. We haven't got a stone house yet. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that is very cute. Yes. Okay, so where should this house be? I think... I think he will be... yeah, he will be where I was going to put him originally. I think along here somewhere. There are no paths, no roads, nothing like that at the moment in the game. I've not seen any indication of when they might arrive, but I imagine they will at some point. So you can place your buildings wherever you like, as long as they don't interfere or obstruct or get in the way of any other building. Okay, or you can't tilt it back further than that. So if I rotate this, where's the... Oh, there's the entrance. So Q and E to rotate it. And I think, yeah, that will do, I think. Go build it. With the slight problem that I don't actually have anyone to build it, because I have no one free. Everyone has a job. So what we'll do, if we take out... We'll take out one of the miners, actually. So I need to go to the mine. There you go. Take one of you out. So that will give me a labourer who will take their time building this stone mansion, which effectively is what it is compared to the other houses. And we'll just speed the game up a little bit. Oh, they're working already. Excellent. These cows and deer just hanging around. Well, that's the gatherer, out gathering berries and mushrooms and herbs. Oh, interesting. I don't know if you noticed that. We did have 2 people ill at the very beginning of this episode. Probably cold more than anything, but the healer has now managed to cure them. So these are their buildings. I suspect the quality of these has been improved. They look better than they did before, I think, which is nice. So yeah, they've produced 5. They've gathered 5. Well, they gathered cloth. Oh, so do they take the cloth from the tailor then to the warehouse? Interesting. Okay, so the healer's hut has produced 4 medicines this year, 2 last year. Oh, that's really good. Good. And the stone house is come. Oh, is that finished building yet? I missed that. Sorry, there is a new interface. There is it's called a HUD. I'm not sure I quite like that term, but it's what we all use. The head-up display should now appear on buildings while they're being built. So you can, I think, cancel them at that stage. We haven't seen that here, but we'll see that later. In terms of other changes to the game as a whole, we now have, when you create a new game, difficulty levels. Yes, there are 4 different levels of difficulty. I'm not quite sure what they all mean. I've not investigated that as yet, but it does mean you can sort of set your own level of challenge. And one of the important things to do with the difficulty is you can actually decide, separate to that, how many enemy villages you want. At the moment, I think the choice is between 0 and 1. So you can actually play this purely as a town builder, as a village environment, and just be creative with the whole thing and create a fabulous looking medieval village from scratch. And that would be lovely. Or you can face as a sort of challenge, which was kind of the original selling point of the game, I think, by having enemies coming in to raid you. So we'll put one of our men in the mine, or people, women and men working all the jobs. Okay, notice here we've lost the low number of clothes, the clothes low stock. That's gone because we have 5 clothes in stock, and all our people are clothed. I suppose we could do with a blacksmith to get tools, because that will make production generally faster. Resources, production rather, blacksmith. 15 wood and 10 stone. Yeah, okay, that's quite a lot. Okay, so we've got 2 new people in village already. So we could increase our miners to 3. Tailors, we could have 2 there, but I'm not sure we need them because our stock of resources, cloth, leather, wool, that's going up quite nicely. That's fine, actually. Where does cloth come from? Because you're not making cloth, are you? No. Good point. I don't know where cloth comes from. It really hadn't occurred to me. Yeah, here in sheep, this thing which I always think looks like a metal helmet from those sort of medieval soldier type films and TV series you see. It's not, it's a ball of wool. So we're getting wool from our sheeps, 7 so far. Excellent. Oh, we are feeding them because there's 11 sheep. Oh, hang on. What's going? Oh no, that's looking at 1 there. I think we only got 1 sheep left. No, right. So that sheep I imagine has been slaughtered now. We've got 2 free labourers. Shall we build another farm? I think we can, because farms are free to build. A farm, yeah. And should we build that out here, perhaps? Yeah. Oh, we need to. Right. Remember, low amount of clothes. Yeah, we're down to 3 now. We've got 15 people in the village, so we are relatively low. Farm. That's what I'm looking for. So place you there and drag you out that way and down this way. That's good. And we will grow here. Should we grow cabbages? Let's grow cabbages, and we'll put 2 farmers on there for now. So that should mean that everyone is employed. our happiness has actually gone up to 84%. It sort of dips around 80 something percent generally. I think we're getting a lot of bronze and not a lot of iron. But we do need stone to make some of our bigger buildings. So perhaps we should consider setting this to a stone mine. We don't... Oh, there goes a tree. Thank you. Actually, let's take out... You've got two farmers, two farmers. Actually, let's take one of those miners away again. What was I thinking of doing? Oh, stone. Collecting stone. That's what I was thinking of doing. Right. Is that stone? No. Where is stone? You got... What are you? You're stone. Yeah, we'll collect you. So we'll send our labourer off to do that. And these slightly more accessible stone locations. We'll collect you and you. Oh, it's March and the temperature's gone up to 12.9 degrees centigrade. That's quite good. Right. Now the other thing, which I didn't get round to before, and I was slightly confused by when I first saw it, but I watched a YouTube creator buddy of mine, Gibber73, on the Double E show, who's had a couple of videos on this game as well, and he was playing around with the more defensive structures, like the wall here, the wood wall, and I think I understand how to build it now. So let's have a go at that. So our enemy village is over here, the other side of that bridge. So if we put a wall up here, it will help protect our good people. Again, the mechanics of that has changed. The developer says that people won't try and continue working while they're being attacked. So they are slightly more responsive to their situation. And the thing I hadn't noticed initially, which I was grateful to Gibber for showing, was that the wall here has two sides. A really spiky, aggressive, nasty side. Hopefully your enemies will fall upon that, impale themselves and not come and kill your villagers. And a slightly more civilized, simply tall bits of wood. So I think you click, that's it, you can orient each segment. I don't think there is a option to drag it out. Again, if you've played with this game a bit more than I have, then please feel free to correct me. So we'll place that there, and it's telling me down there this is going to cost me 10 wood, which is about half my stock. I think that will do. So place the building by clicking left. Have I done that? Oh, I've placed that unit. That's right. Then build that, and it'll go in and build. So who have we got? We've got 15 people. Yeah, excellent. Temperature down. It's getting into the evening. 10 degrees centigrade. That's fine. The developer was talking in one of the updates about putting a gate into the wood wall, which is obviously what you'd want, because you'd want your people to be able to get in and out, to go through it. But was having some issues with pathing and so on. So that's on the drawing board, and that will be with us at some point, reasonably soon, I imagine. But at the moment, yeah, I don't know how your people get through the wood wall. Maybe they don't. Maybe it keeps people in as well as keeping people out. So there we go. This is all very nice. How are we doing in the big house? We've got no food. Nobody's got any food. Oh dear. But then again, it is only 10 o'clock at night. Which is the warehouse? Is that the warehouse? That's the warehouse. Oh, they're all rushing home. They're not collecting food. Interesting. Oh, maybe they're not that hungry. Could be. Maybe that's the reason why. Oh yeah, this symbol here. I assume this means cold. It looks a bit snowflakey. So that could be what it means. But that's interesting that the wood house occupants are feeling the cold, but the people in these thatched huts which I believe are chillier. Thatched up, chilly with little comfort, where the wood house gives you adequate warmth. So I'm slightly confused as to why that one's going to... If I'm interpreting that symbol correctly, there was no tooltip on it, so it looks a bit like a snowy block of ice or something. So that was my understanding of it. Right, of course the trouble is... What are you doing? Go away. We'll hunt you down at some point. Except I don't have any labourers. Oh, I do have one labourer. Fair. Oh, fair. I'm sure you've been a labourer before. Or maybe that was a previous fair. I don't know. Right. How's our wall going? Slowly. Slowly, slowly. Right, let's get this going through night time. I really do like the visuals on this. If I come out here, then yeah, this patterning is much better. We don't appear to get the same sort of stripy effect that we had on certainly on the very first episode that I put together for the game. So that's looking a lot nicer. Now, if we built a bridge over there, there's all sorts of stone and wood that we could collect from there as well. Oh, the other little thing here, I'm not going to do it because we already have these buildings, but resources on the forester. Oh, maybe because I don't have it. Okay, I can't build it, so it's not going to pretend it can. The gatherer, no, I can't build any of these. But no, you do get the sort of collection range for those buildings. I think where do we see it? I think we did see it on the forester hut, but on some of the other buildings as well now, you will see a range, which presumably is their collection range for collecting foodstuffs or whatever. Right, how are we doing? We're doing very well indeed. Random sheep in my chicken pen. Everyone loves wandering into my chicken pen. I really wish they wouldn't. Yeah, you're doing all very nicely indeed. Yeah, my issue with these sort of games, with these sort of games generally, is knowing what sort of resources to sort of focus on to start with. I'm sat here where I keep thinking I should be building defences, I should be creating sort of barracks and the like, creating an army. But then again, you need people to do that to support it. So you need other functions like food production and so on. And I just hopelessly lost as to getting it done in the right order. So this is progressing nicely, albeit a little slowly. But yeah, we're collecting wood. We're getting more stone out. Perhaps we could do with another mine. Can I build another mine? Was it telling me I can't need 15 wood for that? Firewood. Yeah, we shouldn't need firewood now. We're coming into April, so firewood shouldn't be a big issue at the moment because the nights shouldn't be that cold. I heard a sound effect then. What was that? I don't know. Okay, let's get through the night. See, our defensive wall is definitely taking shape here. Yeah, that looks very aggressive and unfriendly. If I was an enemy, I wouldn't want to come a cropper running up against that. Definitely. Good. In terms of our food production, wheat, created 11 so far. 3 cabbages. Good, good. It's a good start. Oh, we can build a mine. Do I want to do that just yet? What we'll do, I think, we'll put a couple more lengths of wall in there. I should cancel that. Barracks, 17 stone. Oh, that's Yeah, it doesn't need a lot of wood, it just needs more stone. We should be getting to that sometime soon, I imagine. I'm not really sure, but we will need a blacksmith though, I imagine, before we do that, won't we? Little point having a barracks if you're creating soldiers who have A, no armour, and B, no weapons. So how do you line this up? So we probably want to turn it that way slightly. You can't seem to attach it directly. It's not obviously attached to that other segment. I'm going to assume that they're not going to crawl in that gap. There you go. Let's build that, shall we? And that takes another 4 of my wood. Excellent. Everyone's no one's. Yeah, see that freezing? Yeah, that freezing symbol. That does look a bit like that symbol we had over the wood house. No one's ill. No one is starving. Food production appears to be keeping up. We're a little bit down on where we started, but that's okay. This is really nice. I could do with more people, but I'm not sure if I've got the food production to maintain them. So that's a question for you. For my next episode, should I be concentrating more on food production so I can get more people into the village, or should I start looking more towards the hard crafts, things like the blacksmith, the barrack, and start creating an army? But then who's going to staff that army? Who's going to be in there? I've got 13. So I've just noticed I've got 13 clothes. We don't need that tailor in there doing that. Is there anyone who's not fully... Oh, 27 cabbages already. Okay, so what can we have you do if you're not going to be a tailor? Is the mine fully staffed? It's not. Let's put you into the mine. Okay. So yeah, so where do you think we should go next? Should we start focusing on blacksmithery and barracks and military might, and kind of put food production and stuff in the background, or should I continue focusing on that to build up the population in the village before moving into those other more aggressive buildings? Then again, we could build a church, couldn't we, or a tavern? I do like taverns. Have I said that before? Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of good beer, and I'm sure my lovely people here in yeah, that's one little thing as well. When you create a new game, you can give it a name, which then becomes kind of the save name for the game. But there's nowhere in here that I can see where you can sort of check back what you've actually called the place. So if I remember correctly, and I do have a terrible memory, I think I called this the place, because that's what the first settlers would have called it. This is the place we want to settle down. But yeah, shame that. I just love stats and information like that. So any more of that in the game would be very welcome. But there we are. I think we'll leave this episode here. We are growing nicely, slowly. We'll build up a few more resources and come back. Again, I think we'll leave it another couple of weeks or so, maybe another month. We'll see how much more gets added to the game over the end of May and into the month of June. And we'll come back and check that out now. But yeah, this is looking really good. I'm really encouraged that the developer is really pushing through changes, responding to comments and critiques from the player community, and it's really starting to take shape. All sorts of good things going on. But that's it. Yeah, from me, Ajaxpost, here in Bastide. If you've enjoyed this, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like, a thumbs up would be lovely. Even better though, if you've got any thoughts, suggestions, hints and tips would be very welcome indeed. If you've played this game for a little bit longer than I have and got a better idea of how all the mechanics work, be great to hear from you. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you can do that now, you know, and that way you'll know when I upload another episode. Look at that. They're actually scything the wheat. Nice. It's those sort of animations that really make the game sing, I think. Give you a real sort of sense of immersion. I'm not sure if he was planting or picking cabbages. Difficult to tell. It looks like he's picking, or she, or whoever you are. Are you a Laurel? I'll assume you're a female person. Yeah, you're definitely plucking cabbages out of the ground. 38. Nice. Right, anyway, yes, stop wittering on and finish the episode. Yes, thank you once again for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Bastide, and I'll see you again soon for the next one. Until then, though, from me, Ajaxpost, bye-bye for now.